And now, what you've all been waiting for. It's Coin-Op TV Live, starring Robert Welkner and the lovely Haley Bright. And now, give it up for your host, Robert Welkner!
All right. Welcome to Coin-Op TV Live on the Stream.tv, the leader in live interactive entertainment. Very excited to be here tonight. We got a big show. We got two awesome guests. We got Platt and Yuri Lowenthal, who came out with a book called Voice Over Voice Actor just recently. Let's give a little pre-applause for the guys, Tara and Yuri. They've done a lot of voices for anime characters, movies, and most importantly, video games. So that's why they're going to come on the show and talk to us about that. We've also got an interview with Martin from One Big Game. It's a charity initiative interview that I did last week that I'm going to show. But most of all, I got a full complement in the studio, full crew, full cast, full everybody, and I'd like to introduce them to you. I want to remind you that we are live, interactive. If you want to instant message us and get a question in during the show, it's the Stream.tv, all spelled out. We're also on the chat rooms there, and Stickham and Justin. So shout outs to you guys. And with that, I want to introduce my team and get things going. So first up, my lovely and talented co-host, Miss Haley Bright.
Hey Rob, what's up? I like those stickers taped to your jacket. Very swaz of you.
I was attacked by Haley Bright's sticker patrol or whatever. I don't know. What does this look called here? Is this a little on the Metro side for me tonight, Haley?
Trendy. My Little Ponies. They're in style now. Especially for your jacket. The Sergeant Silent says you have a pretty mouth. Who is Sergeant Silent, Rob?
Are you sure he wasn't talking about you, or is he talking about me?
No, he's talking about you. He said tell Rob. Maybe it's a she. I have no idea. Who is that?
It's the first time I've heard that screen name, so thanks for the compliment. I'll be sure to keep it moving around as much as I can, talking the entire night.
It's all because of those beautiful stickers on your jacket. Maybe you're luring girls in with those My Little Pony stickers.
I think that's what it is, you know. So, and I wore the Brooklyn shirt tonight to show a little love to the Yanks, for NYC. We got like a half applause.
Movie Matt wants to know if we're going to talk about Lego Rock Band tonight.
Oh, we're going to talk about everything. We're covering every base possible tonight. It's a 4-hour marathon, so you tuned in on just the perfect night. And the guy who runs the ship, controls the Stream.tv, part 3 of 3 of Coin-Op TV. Let's give it up for Brian Gramo.
Hi, guys. What's going on? Hi. Hello. I used to play with My Little Ponies when I was a kid, and who's the sucker now? Or everyone making fun of me when I was younger. I'm very excited tonight. Tara Platt, Yuri Lowenthal here, one of the first cast members of the first show on the Stream.tv. It's 3 years later. They totally missed Studio 2.0 altogether and skipped right to coming to 3.0. I cannot wait to have them on because they are amazing and a gorgeous couple. And I'm not messing around. They are a gorgeous couple. You'll see when they come on. They're just absolutely an amazingly compatibly, like appearance-wise and fun-wise. They're an amazing couple.
Be careful, Brian. I don't know if we've white balanced for blush on our talent.
You should be jealous of them if you're a couple at home, but you're gonna actually not like this show after you see them together. Which is why actually we're not going to show you them together. That's why. Brilliant, Rob Welkner. Brilliant.
That's the thing. I figured if they were both on screen at the same time, there's no way we would crash the whole internet.
They're that couple. You know that couple you look at and you're like, oh, please. Yeah, that's them.
All right, Haley. Brian has a moment there, but I want to give a little moment to our fans at home. Do we have any shout-outs or any things right at the top of the show to get to on your end?
According to Barcode, they said that Brian should host Coin-Op.
Boo! I don't know anything about coin-operated video games.
I think we're getting taken over, Rob. Silently, Brian's over in that room, and he's taking over our show.
Do you know what the problem is? I did Stream Lose or Draw before this show, so I'm all hopped up on way too much Evo. Normally, Stream Lose or Draw isn't before Coin-Op, so I'm just extra Evo'd tonight.
Hey, Barcode, why don't you get a real screen name, bro?
That's true. He is just a bunch of lines.
It's awesome.
Yeah, it's a bunch of lines. That's his.
And we're supposed to know
name.
It's Barcode.
Yes.
I think it's cute.
So what else you got,
I think
Haley?
I have a crush on Barcode.
Top of the show heckles right off the bat. What else you got for me?
I have a crush on Barcode. I want to give a shout out to Psycho Gamer and Ian. They're both in our studio tonight.
Ninja Harashi.
What?
Ninja Arashi is his Twitter.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Rob. And Alora Star, and Unknown Turtle, and Curtis AG because it's his birthday. Yay!
Happy birthday, Curtis.
And also to Dan GCN. Oh, thank you for sending in the awesome CoinOp TV car. That was cool. Rob, do you have a photo of that? Maybe we could show it.
It's on the
somewhere.
forums, on the stream.tv/forum. Check out. I think it's in the off-topic section of the forums there. Dan did a bunch of cool graphics for the different car logos and decals and stuff. Very cool. Thanks, Dan.
Made a stream one too.
Oh, and also to TJ Slipperman and to Yoto Bari 288. I don't think I've seen you in our chat room before, so hi.
Very cool, awesome. Well, Haley, let's get on with the show, and we got two guests and a video, and we're going to take questions. It's going to be very exciting. But first up, we just came back from San Francisco, where we flew up to the Hudson Press Media Game Day thing like that. Haley, what else can we say before we get into the photos from the Hudson event?
It was so much fun. We had a great time. And also, I just want to give a thanks to Hudson for inviting us. We just had so much fun at the event. And the venue was cool. And the games were really awesome. I guess we'll just talk about it as we go through the games.
All right, yeah. Well, let's see. We took some party photos. So first up, I believe, is Haley and I on the way in front of the signage there. There we are, being silly. And we ran into some of our friends up there in the Bay Area. I think the next picture is with Rachel and Dan, right? There's Rachel and Dan from BitMob and Rachel Moore. And then Trina flew up also from GamingAngels.com, and our buddy Marcello, who's now an employee of Hudson, teased me because I was saying his name wrong. Like, I've been saying Marcello and stuff. So
it looks like Marcello.
Wanted to get that right. And we saw Varian and Josh and a few other people. Some of the games that really stand out, I mean, the calling looks cool. Rooms looks cool. We did some interviews, so we didn't really get to play a lot while we were there.
Yeah, we were interviewing, but the games looked awesome, and they had a whole hour-long presentation to show off all the different games. And I think calling looked really especially awesome and very different from all the other stuff that Hudson does. I don't know if you guys know much about it, but it's like a horror game, and you go through all the different levels or spaces in the game, and people ghost call your cell phone, and there's no guns or anything. You have cell phones and I don't know, normal type of things to kill people. I mean, not really kill anyone, to fight through the ghosts or whatever. I don't know. It looked freaky. And then there's a website online that you go to check out the game to start off with it, and it's this creepy page that it's supposed to be haunted apparently. Did you hear about that, Rob?
No, I didn't get that far.
Yeah, it's supposed to be actually haunted. And someone said that it's true that if you see something on the page when you go there, you could die. But I didn't see anything on the page, so I'm still here.
Is this a selling point of the game? Don't play calling, you may die if you go to this page.
I don't know, but it was interesting enough that I wanted to see if I saw something. Maybe you don't.
Yeah, that was very cool.
You look scared.
And the Japanese producers of the games were there to sort of demo it, and that was cool because they were very heavily involved from head to toe and anxious to sort of demo things.
What do you think about the new Bonk game, Rob?
Oh, that looks cool. Yeah, if you guys are Bonk fans from the old 20-year-old franchise, they're bringing that back. What is it, Brink of Destruction?
Uh-huh. It looked really good.
All right, well, let's talk about some more games, Haley. Those are coming out in 2010.
Yeah, it's a while.
But we've had a couple big games land this week, and very exciting. So, Haley, I got a game for you to take home and demo this week. We got Rock Band Lego for you. Just came out. I know you're a big Rock Band fan, so I'm gonna take this home, play it, and then next week on the show, we'll talk more about it. Are you cool with that?
Wait. You're going to take it home and play it? I thought you said you brought a game for me to play. Oh, great. Okay, great.
This for you.
I still like you then. Okay.
Hey, Rob, can you explain to me why Lego Star Wars? What's the musical benefit of doing a Lego version?
Oh, Lego Rock Band?
Yeah.
Well, this is a little more on the kids' side. Some of the songs it's got Kung Fu Fighting and Ray Parker Jr.'s Ghostbusters, so it's a little more
How are those kids' songs?
Well, those... Because you feel like a kid when you're rocking out to Ghostbusters, It brings back the youth. But all the icons are Legoized. And, Haley's going to be doing the review next week. This just came in the mail yesterday, so I haven't gotten a chance to mess with it much.
I can't wait. I'm excited. I like all those games. I mean, I like Miley Cyrus and stuff. Don't make fun of me. Anyway, I can't wait to play it. I'm excited.
All right, so that you're gonna take Rock Band Lego home, and the other big music, it's Battle of the Bands. Like in September, it was Rock Band Beatles, Guitar Hero 5. This week it's Lego Rock Band, and Band Hero came out also this week from Neversoft. So I'm gonna take Band Hero home.
So you're gonna review Band Hero,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna review Lego Rock Band.
Because, you know, Band Hero's got like Taylor Swift and Hilary Duff. You know, I gotta, you know, dabble with some of those titles a bit.
Hey guys, my review's gonna be so much better.
Brian, do you understand Band Hero? All 4 people can play guitar, drums, bass, singing.
Isn't that called Rock Band?
Yes. Yes.
It's, you know, but it's got the colorful box. Like, you know, just if you were on the shelf.
Well, I'd like 2, please.
Yeah, if you're on the shelf, I mean, look at the excitement here. Who could pick just one? You just got to get them both, right? So, all right, that's enough of that. Let me talk about a couple events, then we're going to bring out the guests. Haley, just let me know how we're doing over there. If anybody's got any questions, concerns, is the Rock Band versus Lego Band Hero, is that a concern at all? People are like yay or nay either one way there?
More people are excited about Band Hero. But that kind of makes sense considering our audience isn't really children, so it's all right.
All right, cool. Well, a couple events coming up. PMX, the Pacific Media Expo, is this weekend in Los Angeles. I think Ian and Aubrey and some of the guys are going to be going to that. Me and Mike from Blank Logo are going to go check out some photos. And then also over the weekend in Anaheim is the MLG Major League Gaming Tournament going on. Woo!
Yay!
So we're going to go root for, I think Team Foxy is one of the friends of ours, and Gaming Beauty, I think, is Trina's team. Is Trina's team Gaming Beauties?
Yeah, I think so. So, but they're going to be, when we talked to Trina the other day, she was like, we're not so sure we're going to make it to the finals. So, well, we should just cross our fingers for their team.
Yeah, because we're going on Sunday when all the finals are. So you know, if you guys are in town, I think N-York is in town, so we might see him at the MLG event.
Oh, nice. Well, in York, I don't see you in our chat rooms right now. But if you watch this on archive, we'll see you on Sunday.
Yeah, I think maybe he's en route because it starts tonight.
Oh, nice.
So cool. All right, well, before I bring out Tara, our first guest, anything else on your end there, Haley?
I'm already getting questions for them. So,
all right.
No, nothing right now. I know, Rob, you wish it was for you, but it's not.
Very cool. All right, so first I'm going to bring out Tara Platt, amazing actress and voiceover actor, and we'll find out more shortly. Let me get the applause sign for Tara. Come on out. Tara. We got to string along any applause. We got to just go as far as we can there. So,
absolutely.
Good to see you. I'm a little like flustered. It's we got the hot couple voiceovers. Brian, people are complimenting my lips. Brian's, I think, was complimenting me at some point. So you know, just go with the flow. If I seem a little, you know, a little blushed or whatever.
You got it. You got it. We'll stay very flushed up here.
Well, very cool. Now we've been buddies, I think, for about 6 years.
Yeah.
Something like that. Tara is for guys at home, is an amazing actress. I was producing and directing a film that didn't quite get to fruition, but she was cast early on, and I thought she was great. And we've sort of stayed in touch since then. And in addition to that, you have an association with the stream. You and Brian were like one of the original show people. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Absolutely. It was several years ago, and both Yuri and I were a member of an improv group called Faux Pas, and we were doing improv at a theater, and we were doing, you know, monthly shows and going on and on and on with that, which was a great fun because we did sketch and improv, and it was fun. But we wanted to see, and Brian really sort of brought it to the plate to see if it was interesting, if it was something that we could do as live streaming content, and so we gave it a go, and it was definitely an experiment. I don't know that I would say it was necessarily a good show, but we all learned a lot, and I think it was very successful in the sense that we all had a lot of fun, and I think it probably was a good learning tool for Brian and for people that are doing streaming to see what doesn't work so that they know what does work.
I think
that was a polite way of saying that.
Here we've got a clip running now for you guys
boy.
at home. Here's Tara.
had to grab it real quick from the old. We don't have these like digital at all. This is I use Flip for Mac real quick, and this is her introducing a bit with Yuri, and you'll see Yuri in a second. And that's like every show use that like photo backdrop from like Sears.
Yes.
And you might actually be holding the same mic though right now. It might be the same microphone.
I love it. That's fantastic.
And Yuri's going to come up in just a little bit here, but yeah, she said like it might not have been a great show, and not that like it didn't work as a show. We essentially they did the live show every Saturday or once a week that we worked on, and we didn't know any better than to try to put that show we did in the theater on the stream.tv, and no one knew what they were doing back then. And so we realized like sketch comedy that just kind of talked at you and not with you didn't really work.
Yeah.
I'm trying to skip ahead to show you. Here we go.
There's Yuri.
Boy.
There we go.
And ratings just went up when you guys are both on camera together.
And there's just like the bed with like a sheet thrown over it, and original stream.tv there. There you go.
Oh boy.
Sharing the mic. We couldn't even afford 2 mics, so very, very good. So that was a blast from the past, but now we're going to take things into the present. Your new book, Voice Over, Voice Actor, What It's Like Behind the Mic, is out now. I'm very excited. We got some characters, some voice characters that we're going to get a sampling of and things like that. Tell me a little briefly about the book. What are you getting when you pick up the book here?
Oh, well, it's a very comprehensive book, I think. It's got everything from descriptions of how Yuri and I got into the voiceover business, so you sort of see our perspective, but it's got exercises and practice copy, and we have a full warm-up exercise, full body vocal, as well as we explain the best way to read content for reading copy, to ask yourself questions, and just I think it's a really good fun read, and it's very informational.
It's been fun. I've only got a chance to kind of check out the first couple chapters, but I like the little cartoon pictures of you guys there and stuff. So so very cool. Well, what are 3 things just that voice actor, and as Brian with a close-up, what are very shiny.
It is very shiny.
So just in general, like give me a little tip. What are sort of 3 things if you're an aspiring voice actor that is gonna you might need to know?
Sure, 3 things. First, voice acting is just acting. So first and foremost, being a good actor is important.
All right.
Second, to be a good actor, I think the most important thing you can do when you're reading copy, reading script, is to ask yourself the who, what, where, when, why, how. So ask yourself the questions, and when you ask yourself questions, you automatically give yourself answers, and so you'll get really connected to the content of the material you're working with. And the last thing I would say for being a good voice actor is reading, and really getting comfortable with speaking aloud, like reading aloud, so that you're comfortable speaking aloud, so you're comfortable working with a microphone, and you're comfortable playing with your voice. So that's what I would say is my 3 things for being a good voice actor.
Very nice. Haley, what do you think there? Were you writing those? Were you jotting those down as we go?
I felt like I was learning something. I was like, okay,
yeah,
good. I'm going to use this on my auditions tomorrow.
Yeah, good tips. How are things going on your ends?
Good. I have some questions.
Sure, let's get some questions then.
All right, Mr. Paisley wants to know, what motivated you to do voice acting? Because it's not a very obvious choice of jobs. So what motivated you to start?
So Yuri and you have like a 15-year history of acting, and the voice acting has been like, what, the last 6 or 7 years?
Yeah, I would say Yuri and I moved to Los Angeles just about 7 years ago. And when we first came out here, we were pursuing on-camera acting. And after being here for about a year, we both started to go, what other things can we do to really make a living as actors? And so we got into a voiceover class, and it basically took off from there. We really enjoyed it. We had a lot of fun, and we started booking jobs straight out of as soon as we started, it started to happen for us. And so that's kind of how we fell into it. We didn't get into it knowing that it was going to be what it ended up being for us. So it was sort of something that we kind of fell into a little bit, but we both love so much, and we have so much fun doing it. And it really, when I said earlier about it being acting, at the end of the day, you're acting, whether you're doing it in front of a microphone or you're doing it in front of an audience, on stage or on film, or whatever the medium is, you're still doing the work that you're doing as an actor. And so I think that ultimately is sort of what keeps us in the spiral of being a voice actor. Not that we started out intentionally to be a voice actor, but I think that's sort of what keeps us going, and what we really enjoy and what we connect with.
All right, cool. Well, Haley, before we get to more questions, let's get a sample.
Yes.
Are you up for a challenge?
Absolutely. Let's do it.
I brought some images of some of the characters you've done. So Wonder Woman is in the video game Mortal Kombat versus the DC Universe. You played Wonder Woman. Brian, if we could get the Wonder Woman on here, let's get a sampling from Tara. You guys okay with that in the audience? All right.
Okay. Batman, this is Wonder Woman. Batman, I can't hear you. Batman, please come in. I need assistance. Not that I usually need assistance, but right now, I need assistance. I need to kick this guy's butt.
All right, very good. Very cool. So I don't know who won that fight, but it looked like you had the upper hand.
I was trying, you know, it was a still, so it was a little difficult to really embody the whole thing.
And then another very popular character, you're in the Naruto universe, Tamari from the Cartoon Network, and are you in the video games also for that too?
Yes, Naruto has been a wonderful job for both Yuri and I, because it's sort of the job that keeps going. Because when we ended up booking it, we knew that it was a very big title and a big property in Japan, but I don't think either of us had an idea of how big it was going to be in the United States. And now I think we've recorded something like 20 different video games for Naruto titles.
Oh, wow.
And so, yeah, I play Tamari in all of them, and it's been so much fun to work in. And I particularly like her. I mean, I do tend to play very strong female characters, which is fun for me. But Tamari, tends to be a very, like, powerful, sort of kick-butt kind of fierce warrior. Like, she's the strongest of the female characters that are sort of in the main grouping of the characters on Naruto, and that's so much fun to get to play.
All right, well, let's see if we can get a sampling of her.
Absolutely.
What do we got here? Give it to us.
Okay. Wind Scythe Jutsu. That's her
Oh, let me get the
catchphrase.
sign. Wait, sorry,
I don't know.
wasn't ready.
I don't know if there was that's her catchphrase. So when we go to conventions, inevitably, when people come up to talk to us, they ask me to shout out Wind Scythe Jutsu. So I thought I'd give you a little Wind Scythe Jutsu action.
Is that her power up or something? Is she about to attack somebody with that?
That's one of her attacks. I don't know that there's necessarily a power up. There's more of the grunting and the sort of stuff that they do to sort of power you up. There's not necessarily one sound that you do.
All right, very good. So Haley, now that we've got some of that fun out of the way, how are things going over there? Any more questions?
I have a lot of questions.
All right, let's fire them away.
Let's see. Benjamin Oscar wants to know, how long did it take you to write your book?
Okay. Cool. Thanks, Ben. Hello, and nice to talk to you. It took us about a year. I actually got the idea last November, and I sat down and I was like, what's this whole book writing thing about? And I whipped out the first draft in about 3 weeks. And then from there, I mean, it was a very, very rough draft. And from there, then I handed it over to Yuri because he's, I think, a better writer than I am. And I said, okay, will you make this good now? And so he took the rough draft that I had written and he kind of went through and he put his spin on it. He's a very talented writer and very funny. And he took the content and reworked it, and then we gave it to a peer team group of reviewers that are both voice actors and in the voiceover business, as well as fellow actors that don't know anything about voiceover. And we said, what do you think of this? Does it make sense? Do you like it? How does it read to you? And from that, then we went through and we did the editing process with an editor, and we sent it off to an indexer. And so that whole process, including publishing and printing and all those different various elements, getting the cover design, getting the interior artwork, that whole thing started last November. It's off the presses this November, so it took a whole year.
Well, that's not bad. Not bad, a whole year.
Yeah.
Now, here's the question. Now the book is out. When you guys do the audio cassette version, will you be doing the voices, reading out the book there?
Exactly.
Is that in your contract?
So many people have asked us that, like if we're gonna do a book on tape. And you know what? We might. It would be silly. It would be kind of silly for us not to, because we are voice actors. It would sort of depend on if we can get because there's 20 different anecdotes in the book. If we can get the people that did the anecdotes to lend their voices to the anecdote, I think it would be a really fun listen.
Very cool. Well, Brian does a lot of voices too. He does a Mortal Kombat voice.
Ooh, are we gonna hear it?
I think he missed his cue there.
Welker wins.
I was going to say, he does a gauntlet character as
Nice.
well. So, Haley, what do you got over there? Let's get a few more questions. We're going to bring Yuri out shortly. So if we...
So many questions, Rob.
All
Okay.
right.
I like this question. So, Yuri Lowenthal wants to know, do voice actors have to memorize their lines just like other actors do?
Ooh, that's a very good question. Most of the time you don't have to memorize your lines because most of the time when you're in the booth, you've got a script in front of you and you're reading the line. Now, what you might need to do if you're dubbing and so you're actually syncing to an image that's in front of you, you'll want to sort of pick up the line with your eye and then bring it up so that you're making sure that you're watching the mouth flap that's moving on screen. But that's much less memorization and much more just sort of reading the line that's, I don't know, get home now, we have to go, and then sort of picking it up and watching the mouth so that you say, get home now, we have to go, as the mouth is flapping. But there's much less memorization and much more reading, which is one of the reasons earlier I said reading and reading so that you're very comfortable reading aloud, reading for expression and content and performance is so crucial and so important as a voice actor because you're not just reading. I mean, if I were just reading something, it wouldn't be very entertaining or truthful to listen to. So if I can read as I'm performing, therefore I'm not reading, then you're going to get a really nice performance. And so no, you're not memorizing because you don't need to, but yes, you want to be able to read for content and perform it as you read.
All right. Cool, Haley. What else you got?
Sergeant Silent wants to know, what was the hardest accent you ever had to mimic?
That's a good question, Sergeant Cell. I think an Asian accent for me, it was not very easy. My ear was not trained to hear Asian, and I did a video game earlier in the year, and we were voice matching the characters that had played it on camera because it was a video game for an on-camera movie. Dragon Ball. And
a little name drop in here, huh?
And so they played the loops of the character who did it, and then I would have to do my lines based on listening and trying to create a voice that sounded similar. And so she kept saying, I will kill you, but it sounded like, I will kill you. I will kill you. And so I kept having to say that over and over again. And I think I slaughtered the accent absolutely, and I apologize to anyone who is Asian. But that was the most difficult accent for me.
We just lost half our viewers.
I'm so sorry.
All right, now speaking of some games, we got some hot titles. You guys were both in Dragon Age Origins and Brutal Legends. What are some of the characters you played in that? Give me
in Brutal Legend, actually, I play a dominatrix.
Oh, wow.
So that's exciting. Yeah, woo! Yes.
We just won back the Asians.
Well done! Yay! Yeah, so I did a lot of derogatory comments and talking to my pen boy in that game. And
any scenes with Mr. Black in Brutal Legend?
I wish. I don't know because I haven't gotten to play the game yet. And you never know. Sometimes as a voice actor, you never know when you're recording how it's all going to play out because usually you only record your own lines. So I rarely get to read a script for a video game before recording. And so it's possible.
All right.
I'll have to play the game now and see. But if you see a dominatrix and she's talking to Jack Black, possibly.
And then Dragon Age Origins, is there one character you play or multiple
ones?
ones?
I play multiple characters in that. I hate to sound like I don't know who I play, but sometimes I actually have to go back to the IMDb and check my credits because you go in for a game like 8 months before it actually comes out on stores. And so I don't actually remember who I play. If you know who I play, you can let me know.
All right. Very cool. Before we're going to switch Yuri out in just a second,
Sure.
but I sort of wanted to ask you, your impression of you go to Comic-Cons and anime expos, things like that. Tell me a little bit about how that experience is, sort of meeting fans, what kind of things people ask of you or have you sign or any weirdness going on there?
Yes. They ask us to sign weird things, and there sometimes is weirdness that goes on. I really do like going to conventions. It was something foreign to me because I didn't grow up going to cons. I wasn't familiar with that. Like Yuri, as a kid, was a fanboy, and he went to conventions and got autographs and sort of was knowledgeable about that, and I had no idea. And so it was very surprising the first time I went to a convention and there was a 3-hour line to get my autograph. I was like, "What? Do you know who I am? Why do you need my autograph? That doesn't make any sense."
That's good.
And it was very flattering and very exciting. But what I like the most about going to conventions is just actually getting to meet the fans and getting to spend a minute saying, "Hey, how's it going? I'm glad you like my work. Oh, you like Mitsuru from Persona. That's great. Or you like that character, and why do you like that character?" And usually the question I'm asked more often than not is, "Will you do a line in that voice?" And
what is the line you get the most of? What are people asking the most for?
Tamari. actually, for whatever reason, Tamari and in Naruto is the one that I get asked over and over and over
Was
again.
that the line you did earlier?
That was the Winside Jutsu one. Yeah, that's why I did that one, because that's
Just
the one I'm
cover the
asked.
bases,
Yeah, I
yeah.
was like, yeah, anyone at home that wanted that, I got it.
So now, you guys, if you're in Los Angeles, Friday, November 13th, you guys are doing an appearance for Meltdown Comics, a
Yeah.
book signing.
Yeah.
Something else coming up before then?
Actually, we're leaving at 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. We're going to Nebraska, and we're going to a convention in the morning.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
NebraskaCon. All right, cool. Well, Tara, you've been great.
Thanks.
You know, guys at home, we're going to bring Yuri out in just a second. I want to show video clips so we can. I'm sure he can handle some of the leftover questions that are maybe
Absolutely,
backing
I'm sure
up.
he can.
So I hope you had a good time. It was
Thanks,
good
I did.
seeing you again.
It was great to see you too.
And okay, so let me just change gears. So I went and did an interview with Martin, who's the founder director for One Big Game. It's a new charity initiative coming out in which multiple professional companies get together and do a casual sort of game or a game kind of on the side, and all the proceeds go to charity. So Brian, if we could check out the One Big Game interview, let's check that out.
One Big Game is probably best compared to Live Aid, the famous music industry charity initiative. And we're trying to do Live Aid, but then for video games. So we're asking some of the most famous game designers and game developers in our industry to create a small game, a small downloadable indie-style game, and all the proceeds from those games are going to go to charity. So the first game that's actually going to come out as part of the One Big Game initiative is Chime, which you can see behind me here. It's created by Zoe Mode, a studio well known for all their work on the SingStar titles on PlayStation. The game that they wanted to make for One Big Game was exactly a music game. And I should almost say it's a block puzzling game with music, rhythm action elements fused into it. It's very groundbreaking in a sense, because you have these two genres that collide, and you've got this whole new game mechanic that comes out of it. The goal of the game is very simple. It's a block puzzling game. You have to create coverage on the grid that you're facing, but as you are placing those shapes and blocks onto the grid, the song that's actually related to each grid starts to play out, and the music blocks effectively become notes as part of the music track that you are creating.
So Haley, I got to demo Chime. It was fun. It was kind of like a little Tetris or Luminous sort of game with the blocks and the puzzles. And there's a little bar that goes across, and as you play, the more pieces you sort of fit together, the more of the music that plays from the song. Very cool. So Chime comes out, I believe, on Xbox Live Arcade this Christmas, and then it'll be on other platforms as well. So go to onebiggame.org for more information. Very exciting. I'm always interested in being involved in help promoting charity initiatives and things like that. So very cool. I know, Haley, what'd you think? Did you get to see some of the gameplay there of Chime?
Yeah, it looked really fun. It looked really fun. So you got to actually play it when you were there?
Yeah, I played that a couple weeks ago. Yeah, when I did that interview, it was really cool. I'm hoping they'll send me like the
what?
So I'm hoping they'll send me a code to get the full version. Since
send you the code. They send you everything. I'm just gonna throw it out there, guys. If you want, you can start sending me all the swag gifts. Forget Ron.
No,
Don't send them to him. Send them to me.
Very cool. All right, well, let me introduce Yuri, because he's been hanging out, waiting. He's been hooting and hollering, rooting on Tara. So let's bring out Yuri Lowenthal. Okay, before we get into questions, Tara did a great job. Did she miss any bullet point on the book, or things we need to know about the book, or the learning, the voiceover stuff?
She covered it pretty well. One of the things that we also have in the book is, and something important that gets overlooked a lot, I think, is the business aspect of acting in general, and in this case, voice acting in particular.
Oh yeah, you have like a chapter on like getting a manager, putting together a reel.
Yeah, your demo and promotion, and using the internet as a tool to distribute things and really to get your name out there and your work out there. It's that takes a lot of time and a lot of energy, and a lot of actors forget about that, and you really need to. We think to get anywhere, you need to really work at that. You need to put energy into that. And another thing, just about auditioning. A lot of people will sometimes ask me, well, what's the hardest part about getting to voice acting, or doing voice acting? It seems like a dream, and that part, the acting part is a dream. But we're also hustling all the time, 24/7, and we're auditioning every day. It's kids who have never gotten into it, and I try to liken it to it's like going to a job interview for a new job every day, sometimes several times a day, if you're lucky. Which is a stressful thing to do, under normal circumstances. But you really have to. You get used to it, but it's a lot of work.
Well, very cool. Well, let's go down some of your IMDb list credits here.
Okay.
Some of the big ones that stood out: Ben 10 from Alien Force. How about a line from Ben?
How about a little? It's hero time. Which if you, there it is. If you
wait for the applause to die down.
Right, sorry.
All right, then where does this fit in the context here?
This is
when he's got the Omnitrix.
The Omnitrix, yeah. This is what most 9-year-old boys are running around yelling probably most of the time. Sorry, parents.
I like that. I just saw you there actually, because I was thinking I saw the Simpsons panel and they did the voices of what people wanted them to do, but they showed the things and I was like, I had the person right there. Why don't you? I never get to see the person say it, so I'm actually glad we're seeing you say it.
Right, but it's tough. I mean, your audience, I think, will be okay with it. But with young kids, we've learned that after about age 7, it's cool to when you're face to face with a kid to do that, because they sort of get the idea. Oh well, I understand the concept of actors and voices, but below like 7. They think that the character is the character that they see.
Oh, you kind of freak them out.
They lose their minds. They just shut down. There's such a disconnect. And sometimes we'll run screaming in the opposite direction.
Yeah, Tara didn't tell us about that. That running fans, 7-year-olds running away.
No, she doesn't tell about the running away people. That's my job.
And then you got your Bobby Drake, aka Iceman, on Wolverine and the X-Men on Nickelodeon.
Yeah.
That's fun. Now he's very jagged in his ice there. Do you sort of like have a little popsicle before you do some of the voices?
I get totally iced down my entire body before going in. I'm one of those diva actors, and I make sure that they have the big bags of ice before I go in.
Does he have a catchphrase, the Iceman? I'll freeze you or something.
Any of his catchphrases are ridiculous, and he doesn't really have a catchphrase. I mean, any sort of freeze joke works.
Is in there.
Yeah, but those aren't.
Can you just say
quite
"chill out" in his voice?
Yeah, I could do that. I'd do that for you, Brian.
Really?
Yeah. Hey, Brian, chill out. Yeah, that's
right.
see, it's not quite a call out,
get
is
a
it?
sign ready.
There it is.
I think they're not sure when the voice ends, and then you're going to go back in, for the applause.
Right. So they're waiting.
So, just wait off. All right.
Next time I'll do a scene.
All right. Before we get to Haley in the chat, sort of the big one, or revving up to like the big one with the movie coming out next year, Prince of Persia, Sands of Time, The Two Thrones. You were the prince, the lead guy. How about a little of the prince? Can we, maybe?
I love that guy.
How about the prince just like
guy.
ordering some McDonald's or something? Just something.
You couldn't get Jake. You couldn't get Jake Gyllenhaal.
Well, we're working on that. We're working on Jake booking.
Is it true that Kevin Pereira sat in this chair? Am I sitting in the same chair?
Kevin was in the studio. Yeah.
Really?
We've had some big names here. Claudia Black, who's done some voice acting, was a couple weeks ago, and
Zachary Quinto.
Yeah. How about a Prince impression there?
Okay. Some people say time is like a river that flows swift and sure in one direction, but I have seen the face of time, and I can tell you, they are wrong. Time is an ocean in a storm. I love that. I still get chills when I say that. I love it. And scene.
All right, I got chills. I can't even speak, so let me throw it to Haley, see what kind of questions we have over there.
Do it, Haley.
I have so many questions. All right, I'm just going to start at the top and just work my way down my list. All right, let's see. Oh, Unknown Turtle set to tell you to say it's over 9,000.
All right, so there's our YouTube clip, and these guys are in this anime almost, Yuri, and to set you up, and they realize, like, I forget the exact words, like, do you realize the general's power is over 9,000? And the guy's like, over 9,000? And they start cutting back and forth to these guys just screaming, over 9,000! And then it goes back and forth between the two guys, and then they're both screaming back and forth. So it'd be like, over 9,000! Over 9,000!
And scene.
Okay.
All right, Haley, give me another one here.
Right.
Dying Breed wants to know, what was your most challenging voiceover project?
My most challenging voiceover project. I would say recently I did. See, I might have to pick another one because I'm still under NDA for a game that I just worked on.
Oh, no problem. You just go ahead.
Just say it right out. Yeah,
no problems
if
there.
And I'll never get hired again.
What was your second most challenging?
Right. I'll go with because with video games a lot of the time it's very hard on the vocal cords because you think of the games you play. You're killing things and blowing things up and falling from great heights and being electrocuted, and we have to do that, as best as possible. And so there's a lot of screaming and dying. So those games, a lot of like the Medal of Honor type games and the Call of Duty type games, are among I think the hardest as far as that goes. But character challenge wise. I think the Prince of Persia stuff, especially the follow-up to the first game, because the first game we didn't know. I mean, we had a sense that wow, we're doing something really special here, but it was after that was received so well that there was an expectation. So I was nervous as hell the second time I went in to do it because of the expectations. And I think, plus I didn't have Jordan Mechner there to shepherd the whole thing. Like he directed and sort of did the whole thing for Sands of Time. And then when I came back to do Two Thrones, he wasn't there, and I felt kind of lost.
Oh, wow.
and worried that we weren't going to be able to recapture what we had what we had before. So I think there was a lot of pressure on that one.
So the Two Thrones was all right.
I think that was one of the harder ones for me in a way.
And let me just follow up with that, like another challenging thing. I sort of want to ask you about when you're localizing a game from Japan. Some of the games already have voice is already in Japanese.
Yeah.
How do you sort of approach that?
Yeah, only recently have they started. A lot of the Japanese companies have started to record both the English and the Japanese dialogue simultaneously. But most of the time we're dubbing, and it can be hard. But we've also got the Japanese guide track, and we do listen to what came before us. We listen to the line in Japanese, and then we try to make it fit. Usually the writers have done a pretty good job beforehand, so the translation will fit in about the same amount of time. Mm-hmm. But then we have to sort of massage it in. It's fun, and sometimes there are cultural things too. There are things that fly in Japan that if you just did a direct translation don't always work, and so that's also part of the writer's job. And then when the director comes in, we all work together as a team. It is a big team effort to really translate to something and not over translate it, because a lot of people would think, oh well, that's how they do it in Japan, and they wouldn't get that in America, so let's make it more American. Mm-hmm. But the reason we watch anime and play Japanese games is because we love that the Japanese are so weird, and we don't know what's going on, and they do stuff, and it blows your mind, but that's why we love it, So there's hopefully we don't over translate things in general.
Well, I appreciate that. Yeah, I don't want to dumb down too much of my voice acting. So so Haley, I think we have time for maybe 3 questions. Let's see what we got over on your end.
Well, actually, 2 of our viewers had pretty much the same question for you. Benjamin Oscar and Ninja Arashi both want to know, how often do you actually get to see or hear your work, and what is that like?
Benjamin Oscar, shout out to Benjamin Oscar on Twitter. It never gets old for me. It's tough because on one hand, I love listening to and watching my work because it's exciting. Because I'm a nerd from way back.
Yeah, Tara was calling you out as a comic person.
She can call me out. I went to conventions. I went to Star Trek conventions, Doctor Who conventions, science fiction, fantasy, comic book, all that stuff. And so for me, it's a fantasy world. It's like it is truly a dream come true for me to be able to do this, and then to experience it, to listen to it or watch it or play the games is still a thrill to me. But as an actor, I still pick it apart. Like I'll be watching it and I'll be beating it's the two sides, the angel and the devil on my shoulder. I'll be like, oh wow, that's so cool. You suck. Why didn't you do this? Why didn't they use that take? It's a you should get out of this business before they find you out. That's sort of what's going on in my head as I'm watching anything. But I can't tear my eyes away from it. I just wish I had time to play all the games that I've worked on, because games take an enormous amount of time, and I used to I used to dedicate that time to playing the games, and I just don't these days.
Well, heck, you bash out a book in a year, so you know you've been a busy boy.
I blame Tara for that. She's a good whip cracker.
And there's the close-up of the
Thank you, Brian.
So the practicals still work. We can hold things up in front of the camera. Can't cut to anything anymore. But let's cut to Haley for another question before we wrap things up.
Church4252 wants to know, is there one cartoon or anime that you would like to do voiceover for? And if so, why?
You have a wish list?
I have a being a nerd, I have a huge wish list. But if I had to put something on top of it, wow. I've gotten to do a bunch of cool things. And things that I never thought I'd do, that I'd be able to, like...
Have you ever played a female character? Did you go gender bending with the voices?
I've done so much anime. I'm sure I've done a female character.
Yusuke?
Yusuke. Cross-dressing. I've played cross-dressing. I mean, that's
one of our writers is got your IMDb page right up on there.
Excellent. That's the beauty of this voice acting, though, as opposed to being on camera. I mean, on camera I'll play this guy, and that's pretty much it. But voice acting, I've been able to play everything from the 70-year-old Japanese guy to a cross-dressing, Japanese guy. I can play a lot of Japanese guys. I don't. Wish list. Oh, gosh. I'd love to be on Family Guy or The Simpsons. I mean, that's like the top of. I recently got to be on Batman: Brave and the Bold, and that was on my list. And there's so much cool stuff. You know what I'd love to do? Clone Wars. Clone Wars has gotten really good. If nobody's noticed, it's gotten really, the Clone Wars
hold
animated
up the
shit.
sign, although for me, Star Wars has jumped the shark. But
But have you been watching the anime?
I have. I'll have to start watching some of the.
There's some good stuff going on there.
All right. Let's plug some of your websites. How do people get the book? What do people need to know? Give us your Twitters. Give us everything.
I'll give it all. On Twitter, for the book, it's VO Voice Actor. The website is voiceovervoiceactor.com. You can order the book right through the website. It won't be available in stores and on Amazon until next year, but who cares? You can order it on the website now. My website is yurilowenthal.com. Tara is taraplatt.com. Our production company where we do live action stuff is monkeykingdomproductions.com. And we're both Tara Platt and Yuri Lowenthal on Twitter. We're ridiculously easy to find on the interwebs.
All right, before I let you go, Yuri, so since you're an authority on voiceover acting techniques,
so they say.
What kind of advice do you give mimes?
Mimes.
Huh? Everybody? No? All right, guys, you've been watching. It's Tara Platt, Yuri Lowenthal, voiceover actors. Check out the book, Voice Actor, What It's Like Behind the Mic. Check it out. We're going to go check you guys out at the Meltdown Comics. And if you're in Nebraska.
Right, if you're in Nebraska this weekend, Omaha. Go Omaha. Go. Is it Huskers? Is it Huskers?
Huskies?
There you go. I got it. I know. I don't know anything about sports. I fake it.
All right. Haley, good seeing you. You doing okay over there? We're going to wrap things up.
I still have more questions, but okay.
Are you up for sitting in the chat room for a few and fielding some questions? All right. Well, we'll throw Yuri and Terry in front of the camera. I have to stick around for a minute.
Do they have a Twitter? Did you throw that out there, Rob?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, after the show, I meant. We'll let you jump over there. But
and I was spaced out reading questions.
So, guys, next week we'll
come back. I'm just putting it out here right now, Rom. We will come back and do the show whenever you want.
Okay. Hopefully that video clip we have running will be over by then.
Right. At least 3 days from the 3 days. How many? What's the count, Brian?
It's down to 3 days, 2 minutes. 3 days, 24 hours, 2 minutes now.
Okay, we're not even going to break the 3-day mark.
All right, so next week on the show, we're going to have a guest from the Twilight Films in the studio. I want you guys to stick around for some more info on that. Yuri and Tara, you've been great. Let me get the sign. CoinUp TV Live, Thursday nights on the stream.tv. Thanks, for everybody, for coming down, and we'll see you guys next week.
Excellent. Thank you.